We're live. There you go, people. Oh, we're talking about cars. There it is. Look at the doors open. Check out the stereo in this sucker. This is pretty amazing, people. Look at this. So we're doing cars today. Wearing my good sunglasses, my special sunglasses for TikTok. That's right. So how was your day? How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
But we got cars today. We got a special guest coming today. And don't forget, for the most sarcastic line, what do you get? You get the emotional support tooth because you can't handle the tooth, and the tooth will set you free. That's right. And yesterday, or the last episode, we gave out an upper molar.
Yes,
We've never done that before.
Why did you do that?
Well, because we've been giving out a lot of these, and I didn't really like who won it, so I gave him the upper one.
He was new.
Shh! Don't tell anybody. He won't remember.
That's
but
not
you,
true.
you get this for the sarcastic line of the day.
Pull up my collar.
And if you're new to the show, have a lot of fun. Weigh in, comment. That's what it's all about. We read the comments live and we go with them. Let's see if we're actually projecting to people now.
I know. Last time we had a lot of problems. We kept breaking down.
We don't care. We're good now. We know what we're doing now. Yep, we are live and in color. We're in color today, people. And this is the 3D effect that we use with people. That's it. This is the traveling stick. We are on the road again. We're still on the road.
What?
We're still
on the road.
We are still on the road. Feels like forever.
I know. I think the people now that we're staying with currently, I think they want to get rid of us.
It feels like forever to some members of the household.
I know.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
It's not me. It's usually you they get tired of.
Oh, Michael Scott said cars. Yes.
Michael Scott. Yes, we have got cars. We are sponsored today by Waynesville Body, or if you're dyslexic like me, it's Ilzabua.
Yeah.
Is what it is, okay?
That's right.
So you got that. And honey, I think we are good. We're running on both people, which we're running on Jim Peters even, which is awesome.
Right.
So let's see. The last show, you guys, thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. We had, what did I tell you? 3,000 something views, right?
I was working today. I was not completely listening to what he was telling me.
Yep, she worked. So, but it was a good show. Worked out really well. If you haven't seen that one was all about what?
Sports.
So we like to make our audience somewhat smarter. Not a lot, but just a microbe or two.
I wonder if people do remember some of the nonsense that we tell them.
I don't.
Oh, the other Beth is here. Hi,
the other Beth? We love the other Beth. The other Beth is cool.
You still have to send me your stuff about your new restaurant.
The other Beth did send us her car. Which was her best car that she ever owned. It was kind of a tragic car. But yeah.
Oh, so, Jennifer Erickson's on. You got to give us an update about your sister.
Yes, and now one of the people that lives in the house is putting food on the very table that we're trying to program and broadcast from.
I think she thinks we're going to eat cookies.
She's heavily medicated. Today is her drinking day, so we are not putting her on live just for her own shame and embarrassment. But today she looks a little like this. That'll just be our secret, just a little like that.
That's so mean.
But this was her car.
This
was her car.
It was her car.
It was her car. If you notice, they have the emphasis on the word was until she decided to occupy the very same space as another car.
It wasn't another car. It was a pole.
It was a pole.
But it wasn't her fault. Well, I guess a car did. The car hit her in a pole.
Would this qualify her as a pole dancer? No?
She got hit in Indianapolis with that.
She got hit in Indianapolis with this. Yeah. Indianapolis was not good to her. But she is on...
My mom wants to clarify. They hit her.
She is on the program tonight, not live, but she is off to the side, partially alive. And she likes it when we do the program here because she says my voice puts her to sleep. Well, so literally, she makes it about 10 minutes through and then she's passed out. I think it's the liquor, but that's just me. I don't really know.
Okay, Sean.
She's already left.
The guy that got the upper molar, he is now on high.
Oh, hey. I can't find it on
Pandora,
Jim Peters, but you found it on the Jim Peters is what you're on, right, Neil?
Yeah.
So you're good. We got the putts. So we have another guest tonight, too? Or not a guest. She's our live audience.
Yes, I don't think... Yes.
Yes.
I would get her on, but I don't think
she remains faceless, but...
She's kind of like I am.
She brought food in tonight, which is kind of her thing.
Yes. She's the cook of the family.
Yes.
Yes.
And she brought in food for us, and it was cookies. So I've had quite a bit of sugar. And that's
always interesting.
Yes. The cookies, me and sugar don't always do that well. So I wanted Jan to know we have Linda Putz, who I've known for about 40 years. Linda Putz lives near Nimrod, Minnesota. So
her name
is
he says
Putz
it every time, Linda.
Every time.
I'm so sorry.
It's
every single time she comes
on. Her name
on.
used to be Orlando, which is like a cool, rich name. You know, Italians, and she married a Putz. Seriously? What kind of people?
You're a Peters.
Easy.
I mean, let's just...
The only thing wrong with the Peters name is if you're from Minnesota, the number one hot dog in Minnesota is what?
Yes, it's Peter's.
Peter's Wieners. Yeah, so that I got a lot of fist fights over my
Yes,
name.
it's
Hey,
really
Peter's,
true.
How's your wiener?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
During the state fair, there's this huge display by Peter's Wieners.
yeah, like I've never heard that joke before. It's like when you run into a guy named Dick. There's nothing you can say that he hasn't heard.
There you go.
So don't even try it. Just
I'm
call
not
him
even
Richard.
sure you're allowed to say that word.
No, you call him Richard. That's the whole point of the thing.
Right.
So we've got some great trivia and some great questions, and a lot of fun tonight,
Right.
and that'll be good. Well,
Oh,
I
the
had a
audience is
customer
speaking.
named Richard Dix.
oh, really? Richard Dix.
There you
So
go.
if Linda married him, she'd be Dix Putz.
See-
I don't know, right?
What?
I don't know, or Putz Dix. No, I don't know.
You're getting it all mixed up.
He was Orlando, Florida.
Gwen is
That's
on. Hi,
right. I
Gwen.
didn't even think of that, Linda. Orlando. I live in Linda's hometown, Orlando.
You just put that
I just put it together, honey. Welcome to the program.
Wow.
I've only known her 40 years, honey.
That's amazing. Oh, the other best is my grandma was a Peters. Maybe
Really?
you guys are related.
I doubt it.
You
Are we
never know.
broadcasting onto the old Jim Peters? Does anybody know? Because
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
getting it. Yeah, so we'll figure that out because there's a lot of people using that.
Oh,
show.
it's Jennifer said Heidi's going to be transferred to a facility for rehab to relearn a few things.
Oh, nice.
So, well, I hope that's a good thing.
I think
It sounds
it's
like a good thing,
yeah.
considering how bad she was
Yeah,
doing.
I think it's good. Okay, we are on the other Jim
Oh,
Peters.
Will Thomas is on. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
cars. I know.
Yeah, I know. We're excited
It's-
about that too.
Okay, so do you want to?
Yeah, let's go with it. Go with a question. Let's
What'd you say?
go with a question.
Go. Oh, you want to start with a question?
Why would if I
Oh,
were
okay.
you? This stump the
All right.
chump. Here we go.
All right. Oh, we're
Honey, we
going
only got
straight
15
there.
seconds and they start drifting off.
All right.
Here we go.
Well, let's just talk about, since we're talking about cars, we thought we would
We
ask.
have Bob for the squirrel if you need.
But you are like all over.
I told
what
you,
was the
sugar.
first car you owned?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
First car.
Weigh in. The first car you owned.
All right,
It
so-
doesn't have to be your favorite car.
All
It
right,
was
so-
just your first car.
So, honey, what was your first car? You owned? You
That
mean
I owned.
Okay, not the first car you drove when you were 16.
No, the first car
you
I owned was a Chrysler LeBaron.
Oh, you will get to see it. And if you saw that, no, it wasn't.
I stand corrected. I did own the other one. It was a
Yeah, what was it?
Grand Prix.
No, try again.
Yeah.
Grand Prix.
Yeah,
Wow.
a Grand Prix.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know what year it
I
was.
thought it was that Oldsmobile thing you told me about.
The Turismo was second.
Oh, okay, second. All right. So
Okay,
now
so-
were you medicated a lot as a child? You have trouble remembering your
Well,
first car.
okay, so the whole story is
Oh, Lord.
when you were in my family, at the age of about 16 or 17, your dad would take you to a junkyard and he would say, pick out a car. And so you would pick out your car and then, I had to take out like a little loan and then he would put it back together again. So that was my first car.
I kind of liked it. It was a good
I
idea.
was thinking the first car, like I went and bought.
Every car you ever had, somebody died in. That's the way I look at it.
Nobody died in my car.
Well, they're in a junkyard.
Oh,
They're in a junkyard.
right.
Okay, my first car was a 1969 Roadrunner.
Oh, look, everybody's weighing in.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. You got
Sydney
people
Sugar-
talking. This
Okay.
is your exciting.
All
moment.
right, Bob's on. Everybody say hi to Bob. But while Bob is on, since we're talking about people's first car, I
yeah.
have to put this
You
up.
got to put this up.
This is so stinking cute.
Yeah.
This is Beth and Bob.
Look
you
at
guys.
this. Beth and Bob from Buffalo. Beth and Bob from Buffalo. This is before Bob joined the 400-pounder club. Yeah.
Isn't that adorable?
Yeah. What
He's
year
not
is that
400
Camaro?
pounds.
What year is that Camaro? 66?
Oh, wait, he probably
67?
said here.
I
No,
don't know.
because his first car was a 1963 VW Beetle. Those
Oh.
were awesome.
Okay.
I would take one of those now.
All right, so you read what some of the answers are from that list, and I'll read the other Jim Peters. Herb says his was a 1954 Mercury. And I'm guessing it was 20 years old when he got it. That's how old Herb was.
Seriously?
I'm just saying.
We're going to age jokes?
Yeah, sorry.
Let me
Herb
see.
said, Beth says, who else here?
Pontiac Grand Prix. See, there we go. A Grand Prix Gwen.
Gwen, okay.
Beth was a 1969 beige Bug. See, those were really popular.
Oh, okay.
Michael Scott, 75 Chrysler Cordoba.
75 Ford Thunderbird, Jennifer Erickson says.
Oh, well, Will Thomas was a Ford Crown Victoria. Aren't those huge?
Oh, yeah,
Aren't those, like,
that's
huge?
like a 6-body trunk.
Really?
Yeah, but it's from the movie. Remember, 6 heads in a duffel bag or something? How many bodies can you get
Oh,
in a
Gwen
trunk?
said they passed the card down from my sister
Oh,
to me.
Jan, what was your first car that you owned? Not drove, owned.
I owned all my cars. 70 Impala.
70 Impala.
70 Impala.
What color?
It was red.
It was red.
Right.
The 2-door or the 4-door? The Impala was only 2-door, wasn't it?
It was
2-door, yeah.
They made 4 doors.
Oh, yeah, first car the Putz bought was an 84 Camaro Coupe. Mom, what was your first car? She bought it personally from Henry Ford.
Well, she got married at 18.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
She didn't have to. Let's just be clear.
Well, here's the tragic part. She was older than the man she married, right?
No.
No, he was older?
No, they're Dad's 2 years older.
Oh.
Yeah.
He looks in great shape.
Jim, it was
18.
Yes. Oh, Mom's giving me the cut sign. What was your first car, Mom?
71 Ford.
See, they owned it together.
57
See?
Ford.
57 Ford? 57 Ford. That's old.
Fairlane 300.
And then what was your first car, Neil? Because it wasn't that one.
54 Ford convertible.
54 Ford convertible for Dad.
All right.
There you go.
There you
Waynesville Body is our sponsor again
There you
tonight,
go.
ladies and gentlemen. Please look them up in the yellow pages of the Waynesville directory.
Jennifer said 75 Ford Thunderbird. Did you already
Ooh.
read that one?
Yes, that works.
Okay, people are saying hi to Bob.
They're saying hi to
Oh,
Bob. Okay, there you go.
A Camaro Coupe was Linda Putz, a 1984 Camaro Coupe.
Bob Atwood says the Crown Victoria came with an anchor. That could be line of the day. Remember,
Okay, you gotta write that down.
Yeah, for those of you that are new, we have the contest for the line of the day. The more sarcastic the line, the better. You get nominated for the emotional support tooth. They get to possess the tooth
Emotionally.
emotionally only because we're too cheap to mail it. They get to possess this for how long?
Well, until Thursday or till Monday.
Sean
Yeah.
has not returned the tooth, has he?
Well,
I
no,
don't
but it
think
was
he did.
upside down.
It was, so he
Yeah.
has to return the tooth emotionally. And
All
we
right.
need you to break with that thing. Debbie, what is Debbie saying here? Debbie Gabbard.
You gotta write that down.
Nova puke yellow. Here's Debbie describing her car, Neil. Debbie says she had a Nova puke yellow / gold and it leaked. If it rained, the seats got wet. Had to get my own loan. Dad co-signed. I had to have it towed the first time I drove it to school. Oh, but the memories that I had with that thing, she goes. And then what else? She says, shag carpet in the back window. Ooh.
Oh no.
And then Andrew says a 94 Olds Cutlass. Now that was kind of a cool looking car.
Okay,
I'll
I
give
gotta
you
say,
that.
Gwen said she bought a red Firebird.
Ooh.
That's what Andrea had.
An-
My sister had it
Gwen
from
said
the
that?
junkyard.
It wasn't red though, was it?
It was
Andrew's?
red. Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Gwen, we need a picture of your red T-Bird, your Firebird.
Oh, an Olds Cutlass.
Oh,
my
that's
word.
pretty. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Andrew, the 94 Old Cutlass. Lydell just joined. Lydell, you are again on the wrong page. You got to get to the Jim Peters or you
Poor
don't show
Lydell.
up.
He's so faithful. and
Lydell,
you
we
give
have
him
two
the
different
hardest
pages
time.
going on, people, because basically I'm bipolar. But we can't track people, and we can't track the views and everything on
Yes.
my old page, my humble beginnings. You have to go to the Jim Peters so we can track it and share from the Jim Peters. All right,
Gwen
so
wanted the black Trans Am with the big gold eagle, like they
Oh,
had
yeah.
on Smoking the Bandit.
yeah. Now Dad tells me there were some of the eagles that were flipped,
Yeah.
where the bird normally faced. If you're looking at the bird, they normally face the driver's side, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they faced the driver's side, but there were some that were released that faced the other, which would be the passenger side.
Why did they switch it?
I don't know. I'm sure it was just
Oh,
some
no, yeah.
gimmick.
And some Jeeps had eagles.
Some Jeeps had eagles. Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's
Lydell, switch
funny.
over to the other page if you're focused here, buddy. Chris and Linda Soda and Chris just joined.
Oh, did they join? Hi, Chris,
Chris,
and Linda.
you're tragically late. But here, we're going to give you the Sunglass Award, Chris. There you go. There's the Sunglass Award. That's it. All right. Now, we
Oh,
have
it
a
says
squirrel
Chris is here,
video or
Linda's
something.
there. Oh, you know what? We could go to the squirrel.
'Cause
You guys,
Bob's
this
here.
is so cute.
Bob's going to lose his focus. Anna Kane just joined us. Thank you, Anna. Christian
And where
Brown
is
has
it?
joined us again.
I am lost. Oh, I would love to see Christian.
Christian is
We haven't seen
awesome
him forever.
people. One of my favorite people on the planet.
Okay, I lost my squirrel.
He lost the squirrel. Honey, please.
I know,
Somebody,
it's so-
Pandora
oh, it
says,
is.
or no, I think that, yeah, this should be Pandora, said it's 78 maroon Chevy Caprice Classic. That thing was a boat.
I wish we had pictures of all these. That would have been fun.
Well, you got to send me the pictures, and
Yeah,
the next
let's do
episode
it.
we'll do a little video.
Yeah, that
we have
sounds
a
good,
few
yeah.
pictures, but not enough.
we need pictures of these cars, you guys.
Yeah, we do.
All right, here's the squirrel video. You have to look closely.
Yeah.
All right, so this old lady has a marionette of herself, and
Yeah.
she's feeding the squirrel.
And the squirrel is eating out of the marionette.
See
There
it?
you go. There's your close-up. Did you get it yet?
Always behind.
Yeah,
I know.
you're a little bit behind there, Jan.
It is so cute. I'm like,
yeah, you
that's
gotta
a
check
cute
that
little.
out. We love
that's,
that. Very cool.
That's gonna be me when I'm old. I'll just
Oh, yeah.
take a little marionette of
Oh,
myself.
Chris is the only one here. Linda is out kayaking.
Wow.
She's a
impressive.
badass.
Can you say that word?
No. Well, I can. Yeah, Chris will yell at me, but Linda's not
See,
here.
they said I still wish I had that car. You know what? I think a lot of us probably would like to
There
have
you
our
can see
first
it now.
car. My Grand Prix, I probably would have wanted back. Not
Yeah.
necessarily my LeBaron.
Well,
like,
we can
wore the
show our
tires off
video
of
of
those.
our old cars if you want to
Okay.
show that. So you know what our cars. So this video, or actually the little trailer that I put out to you people, that is all of our favorite cars that we actually own. So that's Sunny's, say it.
LeBaron.
That's her LeBaron that she
Yeah.
had. That's my 69 Roadrunner. A copy of it. I mean, that's not it, but it's
Yeah.
identical. There's her LeBaron
Mine was
again.
burgundy.
There's your Beamer.
I had it was a different year.
And
but
that's
yeah.
Dad's car. I don't know what it is. And there's our Prowler that we currently own next to Levon's XLR. There's our Prowler again. We still have that.
That was Mom's car.
That's the 300 people. That's it right there.
Yeah.
We worship there. And
There
there's
you go.
my baby girl. And then
Oh, wait a minute.
Superman.
I need to pause there
Why?
because I think people need to completely appreciate that is on the hood of his car.
Tahoe.
How
Not a car,
big is
a
it?
truck.
A truck.
Well, it's as big
It's
as
a
the hood.
Tahoe.
So it's
as big
probably
as the
4
hood.
foot.
But how big was it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be about 18 inches.
18 inches. It's the whole hood.
It's what happens when
We
you.
stop cars.
It's what happens when you don't know the language of the person who you have employed.
There you go. Note to self.
Yeah, I gave him a comic book cover which had Superman about this big, and then I said 18 inches. I don't know the word for 18 inches, but I thought I had it down.
Not so
And,
much.
Yeah. And we were wondering why it took him about 2 weeks to paint it.
There
we
you
came
go.
around the corner to see the thing and we're like, holy crap.
That's
And
a
he
lot
said,
of
you
Superman.
don't like it? I said, no, it's just bigger than I thought it was.
It's a lot of super.
It's a lot of super.
It's a lot of super.
Super.
So there you go.
All right, there you go. Lisa Cloud has joined us, honey.
Hi,
And
Lisa.
Bob Atwood, you are on the wrong page, Bob. I need you to jump over to the Jim Peters if you can put your stuff together there. All right. What do you got?
Well,
Are we
should
ready for a guest?
We can bring the guest on.
We could bring the guest on. I think we probably should so this program doesn't drag.
All right, come on over, Paul.
This is the expert that we
We'll start
advertised.
asking the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're bringing him in, and this is going to be an episode. Come on over, Dad. We're going to be Stump the Chump, is what the plan is. Dad is about as dainty as I am getting into these teeny little chairs that Mom has.
We might start talking louder.
If
Dad's-
I'm sweating a lot today, it's because I'm at my mother-in-law's house, and she has the house at what I call nursing home temperatures.
I'll hit him, Mom.
Debbie
It's
said,
like I feel like I'm in a deposition here, okay, people?
Collar. Mom's telling me to put your
dress
collar
me
down.
up, make me look
I
good.
know, Dad. Mom's like, okay.
All right.
Debbie said she had to have her car towed home. Her dad was a transmission man. So he probably bought a car with a bad transmission.
Oh, there you go. That's probably it.
I bought wreck cars. He probably bought them with
Oh,
a
that's a
Oh.
good thought. I didn't think about that.
All right, so I'm going to go right to.
Yeah.
So my dad and my mom came to visit us. I don't know. I guess it was in January or something. But
Down in
he
Florida.
got Jim watching what I'm going to show you in a minute.
Yes.
This is something my dad enjoys.
We're going to let Dad narrate it because there's no audio on this
right.
clip.
You can't
Yeah.
completely.
So, Dad, you can
appreciate
narrate
this.
it. You don't know what it
Oh,
is.
trailer racing.
Tell 'em
Oh,
what it
that's
is.
super. Yeah. Some of these guys got boats and some of them got big trailers.
So you have to have
You gotta
something.
watch trailer
You got to have
racing.
something behind your truck or your car. I think there's actually
Yeah.
some guys with cars.
Right.
Some
So-
guys got 2 trailers on the
Yeah,
back.
the one guy had a trailer that just went by, and he also had a Sea-Doo hauling behind it. And
Yeah.
you, as soon as you lose your complete cargo, you have to quit. But even if you're hauling just a pipe or a thread
Yeah,
of it,
we've
you
seen
can
it where
stay.
they're just hauling a pipe.
But it's a
like
figure eight.
Yeah, figure 8 racing. Yeah.
So they're all smashing. But if you haven't seen this, you guys, you should Google it on YouTube or something. It is so stinking funny. So Dad turned us on to trailer racing. We sit in the backyard and
I know it's so
wade into the pool and watch
crazy.
trailer racing. But look at this.
See,
This
and
is
they'll
just
pile up like this right here.
Look at-
Just
yeah.
pile up.
look at this.
I
So
mean, can you imagine cleaning this up? And the race doesn't last that long.
no, huh? Look at this guy. He's down to just a skid, I think.
Yeah.
One guy drove through the other guy's trailer. I mean, in the scene,
Well,
look at
see
there,
the
that
guy
guy.
that,
He's
yeah,
gone.
he's trying to drive through.
He's done.
The announcer's funny too. He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, he's in the living room."
That's right. He's in the living room. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Only in Kentucky or Dayton.
Only- That's right.
Hey, watch yourself.
Actually, I think where was
said
this? Was this Kentucky? I don't remember
Oh
where
no,
this one was.
I pulled this
No.
up. It said Rockville.
Oh, Rockford, Illinois.
Oh,
Illinois.
Rockford.
It's Rockford,
okay.
Illinois. Yeah,
Something
which I
like-
didn't
yeah.
know was kind of a redneck capital, but apparently.
All right.
So, but they're from all over. But that's some good stuff, honey.
There's more, but we'll go ahead and go. I just had to.
It's just great. It's
I
crazy.
couldn't even believe. And there's one with school buses.
Oh
They-
yeah.
They race school
Yeah,
buses.
figure eight school bus and then
I'm
try to
like-
kill each other. Okay, so Dad has a special surprise. He's going to tell us about a car deal he did with his daughter.
Yeah, when my daughter came
This daughter,
Home from-
by the way. Yeah.
home from college, she said, "Dad, I need a car. Just go get any car. I don't care what it is, but I want it to be a little sporty." So I bought this Omni Turismo, which kind of fastback Omni.
Forgot.
And she drove that thing for a while, and then she got a good job, and she said, I'm going to buy a new car. So she buys a new car, and she says, Dad, you've been so good to me, and I love you, and I'm going to give you my old car. I said, great. She gives me an old car. And a few weeks later, she said, oh, here's the payment book. I love that girl.
Well, I had made payments. I didn't ask for the payments back.
I didn't want a
don't remember.
Turismo to start with.
He didn't want the car, first of all. She gives it to him, and he gets the payment book in the mail later. That is awesome.
Yep, that's how we roll.
That's my girl. She kind of still does that.
We kind of had it back of the shop. There was a little unlevel area, and we had railroad ties. And I looked out there one day, and that thing was hanging off the end of it. So,
Poor thing.
I don't know what I ever did with that car.
See,
Well-
he doesn't even.
We all got cars when we were kids, you know, because
Yeah.
by 16, so we were all either sharing a car with whoever was the next solo. So Steve and I usually shared cars. But this story goes on my very first date with Debbie. I borrowed my mother's Plymouth station wagon that we had that she would haul kids to church in. And I got T-boned going into Debbie's driveway after the date and got knocked into the ditch. So Debbie's dad had to come out of the house and
You
help
would
us
have
get out
thought
the
that
car.
would have been a warning. Like,
So that's the the driver door and the passenger rear door, okay? 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in Hardee's and I look at the car. It's snowing in Minnesota and the car's going like somebody T-boned the other side in the parking lot. So now the passenger side doors don't work. The only way to enter the vehicle is through the back end. You got to go through the trunk, basically. So I bring that car home, finally get it home, and my dad leaves it in the backyard. A few weeks later, I'm driving the Dodge Dart Swinger, if you remember those, 1969 Dodge Dart Swinger. Driving that at an intersection, and a woman and I hit head on. It was her fault, but we hit head on. So now that car gets towed to the backyard. This is how dumb most boys are. So I think I'm 19. So there's one car left. It's Dad's car to get to work. And I walk up to Dad in the kitchen. He's eating breakfast. I said, I need to use your car today. Can I take you to work? And he didn't even break stroke on eating his food. He goes, why don't you take one in the backyard?
there you go.
That's pretty true. Pretty
There you go.
accurate. Yep.
They're saying I get line of the day for saying it was only in Dayton. There you go.
Only in Dayton. Oh, so Sonny's up for line of the day. Sonny's there. What was that other line of the day? Bob Atwood, right?
What did you say? Yeah,
Bob
I
Atwood.
wrote it down in case you had forgotten it.
Okay, only in Dayton. Oh, you
Only
did write
in
it down?
Dayton. Yes. Yeah, Bob's line. Absolutely. We don't want to miss that.
Okay,
Just
cool.
messed up.
All right, what else you got, honey?
All right. Well, I'm going to go to a question, but then I
Paul
think we
Kilgore
should.
joined, pardon me. So he sent us a picture of a car
Oh, did he?
from his bachelor days. I'll see if I can pull it up, Paul.
Is it funny?
It's kind of classic, Paul. He'll let's see. I don't want to click on
Okay,
it.
I'm going to put a question
Yeah.
up why he stutters.
Yes.
Okay, I so did this question wrong. The average car spends what percentage of time
Oh, yeah.
parked? I know, like that was like.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much time does a car spend parked compared to driving it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Here is Paul Kilgore's car.
I think it's two.
There we go. All right.
Well, you could have.
Number one, I can't. Number one answer is 50. The number two answer is 70. And the number three answer is 95% of the time the car is parked. And Neil's going with 3. And so start weighing in on your answers
Linda
there, people.
Putz just said you guys had a car graveyard in the backyard. That could be line of the day.
Yeah.
You
Linda
had a
Putz
car-
with the car graveyard.
Yes, you had a car graveyard.
We did. And there were ultimately, later on, there were 3 back there. Yeah.
Those boys are my kind of people.
See, exactly. You want to tell them about your incident of off-roading with your Maverick?
No. Why? Can we just go on?
No, this is a good story.
This is not confession.
If you'd like to hear the story of Sunny off-roading with a Maverick and trying to fool her dad, just give me some love
Yes,
right now.
just-
give me some happy faces or something.
My dad and I are getting along really well.
I'll tell a Maverick story.
Oh, you tell the Maverick
Oh,
story.
Lord.
Or was it a Pinto? I don't know.
Dad's not gonna be on the show
I bought a
anymore.
Maverick, and I didn't really want the car. I thought a guy at the shop wanted it, and he didn't, and I fixed it, and I put a vinyl top on it, and Charlotte took it home. First time on the road. She took it home, and she got close to the house, and something hit their car, and she got home, and there's a tear in the vinyl top, and she said, there's kids over in that woods throwing rocks at cars. I said, we'll go over and see who it is. Well, guess who it was?
My brother. My brother.
And they said, we
Among
were.
others, Mom says. Among others. I'm sure it wasn't him that did it.
And he did not instigate anything ever.
He was
They
in charge.
weren't throwing at cars. They were throwing at these nuts in the tree. It just happened to be
See.
coming down on cars.
There you go.
Well, I'll confess this, honey, so you'll feel better.
Yep.
So at the corner of our neighborhood, there was a new neighborhood being built. They built one of those giant V signs.
Yeah.
All out of wood, the old plywood days. It was probably 12 feet high and 25 feet long. You could crawl up the back of it. So you're up inside this V.
Yeah.
So we would play all kinds of games. Then we thought, the street is right there. Let's throw rocks at the cars. They'll never know where they're coming from.
What is it with boys throwing rocks
So we
at
threw
cars?
rocks, and this is the guy must have been driving pre-safety glass. It hit the windshield, and you hear this explosion. Because they crack now, but this was when they just shattered and
Yeah.
exploded. He slams on the brake, gets out of the car, and he's looking around, and I think one of the kids who was with us tore out of the sign. So then he was
Yeah.
like, they're in that sign. So then everybody spreads.
Shattered.
Everybody scatters. So, yeah.
See, the girls wouldn't do that. Girls just wouldn't do that. It's a guy thing.
It is.
All right, so, see, the audience is saying they agree with me.
All right, so the answers are coming
Okay.
in. The other best, honey, says 3. Gwen says 3. Linda Putz.
The car is parked 95% of the time.
Wow.
There you go.
95. I'm like, that's a lot.
And when you start breaking down, if you got a hefty payment on a brand new car, there's a lot of money just,
Right.
you're not
Sitting
even
there.
actually
Yeah,
using
what
it.
do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look how nice it looks in my driveway.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's pretty good, honey. That's true.
All right.
Paul Kilgore got that one right.
All right. Now, this was interesting.
I don't understand what the number 3 is for.
How many Americans can drive a stick shift car?
man.
95%.
One is, okay.
Number 1 is 18, number 2 is 5%, and number 3 is 32%. Now, in our day, and I'm sure in Neil's as well,
Everybody.
everybody had to. You couldn't get out of the driveway if you couldn't drive stick.
That's right. That's all we
Yeah.
Jim and
had.
I were just talking about this the other day. I miss a stick shift car because you really feel like you're driving a car. Like anymore, you just don't even.
I don't know. Well,
It
we're
does
almost to the
everything.
point where your phone now will completely work off the car. But
Yeah.
up till now, you were looking at it or
Right.
touching it, and now you can almost do it virtual. But that would have been hard with the stick shift currently because
My sister-in-law who's here, she still has a stick shift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she won't
loves
drive.
stick.
Won't buy anything but a stick
there's
shift.
something wrong with her.
Okay, Gwen.
And she's got an Audi, so it isn't like she's got an old cheap car.
Right.
What?
What, honey?
You got an Audi.
Read Gwen's
An
comment.
Audi stick.
Mine is frozen. Oh, there it is. Gwen says, my dad was at work with my mom. Let me take the Corvette. It was an 81 to Mickey Rat's with my cousin. We had the T-top off, and it poured rain coming home, and we were soaked. My dad pulled in just when we were drying it off. So we said we washed it for him.
Nothing like a good lie.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
Just
about that?
washing it.
Yeah.
Washing it for
How
you.
about the off-roading Maverick?
Yeah. I saw that. Okay, so how many Americans can drive a stick shift car? Dad, Mom.
Read Jaylene.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see it. I don't think. Oh.
That's a bad thing. Mom,
See,
she's
Jamie
gonna
said we taught all our girls to drive on a stick.
Yeah.
See, I wanted Sydney to learn, but the problem is it was hard to find a car that was stick.
Just a little commercial break here. My mother-in-law invented the concept of everybody gets a trophy. Okay, she invented that concept. Anybody who's used that line, it came out of this house around this table. So she's now going to make us read every comment that comes from every person. So even when the program goes off the air and they're still coming in, we'll be calling you with those comments.
All right, how many of you guys do own a stick shift car? Does anybody out there own a stick
Well,
shift
Jan
car?
has one. What year is your car?
12.
It's a 2012 Audi
A4.
A4, and it's a stick.
Right.
Now, mostly in Europe, in
that's
Germany, you have to request an automatic because it'll come as a stick.
Yeah.
When we rent cars over there.
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to go back to it. So, Dad, what did you think the answer was?
5%. I'm on number 2.
I'm going to go number 1, 18%. What do you go with, Jan? It's either 18%, 5%, or 32% can drive a stick.
I'm going to say 32.
She's going to say 32% of Americans can drive a stick. What are you doing? She's saying 18%. Mom's with me on that.
It's 18.
Mom and I never agree. We
It's
made it.
18%.
There you go.
Yep.
That's it.
I actually thought that was really, really low.
That is low.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot higher.
He thought it would be lower.
Yeah,
So-
I thought it'd be lower.
so-
You'd be surprised the number of men that can't drive a stick.
See, I got to tell you, I think it's kind of sad when a man can't drive stick shift.
It's demasculating.
It's demasculating,
There
baby.
you go. We don't even know if that's a word.
I know.
Lydell, did you get that one right? Nope, he had number 2.
Okay, so now here's the next question. So what is the percentage of manual transmission cars made today?
Okay, while that is going on, Bob Atwood, one of our top viewers, has said, what happened with the off-road story of the Maverick?
I know.
Would you please tell the story?
No, he doesn't really remember that story. Let's keep talking.
Okay, so what happened? Do you know
I
the story,
don't know
Jan?
all stories that my kids did.
Oh, good point. Okay, so
There you go.
I do know that it had a dent in the side, and I said, if you turn the radio down, you'd find out that thumping is stuff hitting the side. It's not the drums in the radio.
Okay, so the story goes, she decides to skip school, and she goes off-roading with her little Maverick with her two besties. And while they're doing it, they do a backwards donut, and they're out in the field, and she runs over a
It was a
stump.
A stump.
She runs over a stump. So now we have a crease along the back rocker panel, I think. Right? Okay. So anyway, she goes
I'm
home.
going to tell the story. So
Okay.
anyhow, I go home, we wash it up. I go to a very large school, so I just thought, well, I'll just tell Dad somebody hit me. Yes, I was going to lie. So Dad comes home, owns a body shop, should have known better.
Pause from a note from Mom. This is the only time she ever actually lied in the history of her life.
I never lied before.
Never lied. Mm-mm.
So Dad said, well, no, you didn't get hit. You hit something. And at first he said, you hit a rock. And I was like, well, no, I didn't hit a rock. And then he said, well, you hit a stump. And I was like, still was like, Dad, I didn't hit anything. And he goes, and you were going backwards, which I was going backwards at the time. That's one of those times that you think he has eyes in the back of his head.
Oh, yeah.
How
So-
did Dad know this?
Huh?
How did Dad know
He just knew by how the car was hit. He
So there you
figured
go.
it out. I was like,
You don't work on cars all your life and not know anything.
I know. No, I swear, I stuck to my story though.
That's like
I'm
a lot
sticking
better.
to the story.
It's a good lie, and I'm sticking to it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so Gwen comes in with a story. She says, my dad owned a Pontiac Sunburn in the 70s, and it was a stick. My dad wouldn't teach or let me drive it, so Mom taught me. I really didn't think I drove that bad, but apparently my dad did.
Well, did people say, do you guys know how to drive a stick? I wasn't looking.
I don't know. I don't
You
wait
guys
in
have
on
to tell us. Can you drive a shift car? I'm just kind of curious. Maybe people can't. All right, so the answer. Let's go to the answer. There we go. Oops, there we go. What percentage of manual transmission cars are made today?
Oh, good question.
Do you have any idea, Dan?
Number 1 is 20%, number 2 is 10%, and number 3 is 5%.
This answer surprised me too.
Yeah, so this is, what is the percentage of manual transmissions that are still being made today? Okay, Mom is saying what? Or Jan says 5%, which is number 3. Mom, what did you say?
I'd say number 1.
She's going with number 1. 20% of manual are still
And
manual.
trucks may fall into that category, so
that's
I'm
true.
going to 20.
Always going to 20.
All right.
Wow, we got the whole lot. Honey, what are you doing?
I know the answer.
Oh, that's right, of course.
Well, I think I'll go with.
I thought maybe you forgot. I'm going with number 2, 10%. Donna says, I had to learn how to drive shift. My dad said, if you can drive a stick, you can drive anything. There you
I
go.
taught my wife to drive before we was married, and I had that 54 Ford convertible, and she put it in the ditch, and these guys were helping me get it out, and I took credit for putting it in the ditch. I wouldn't do that today.
No, when we had got our first bus that we drove in as a band, it was a 1962 bus, and it was a manual transmission, which was not a problem for any of us, except it was double clutch.
Oh.
It didn't have synchronized gears, and so before we got it, I called a buddy of mine who owned a bus, and I said, would you teach us how to drive a double clutch stick? Because that's what his was. He goes, not with my transmission. He goes, I'll teach you with your transmission.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was it. We learned how to do it. Paul Kilgore says number 3. Gwen says number 2. The other Beth says number 1.
Okay, well, I just got to get the answer's 5%.
Wow.
It's number 3. There's only 5% of the cars that are made are manuals.
No, my dad
I
was against
shocked.
it because it didn't get as good a mileage. he
Yeah,
said.
that's right. The sticks
Yeah.
got better
Well,
mileage.
you know, and what they're going to is that knob now to change.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's not even driving a car. That's like, what is that?
Yeah, the transmissions are electric shift, so you just push buttons.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dodge had one years ago that the gear shift was electric. It's in the middle of the steering wheel. And so did Etzel had one in the middle of the steering wheel.
In the middle?
No,
Oh.
Dodge was up here.
On the
And
left, yeah.
Etzel was in the middle of the steering wheel.
Chris says he can drive a stick. Honey, Gwen says, yeah, my mom, I know how to drive a stick. Thanks, Mom. And Michael Scott says, I can drive a stick, but of course, the only way to drag race.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you drag? I think drag racing would be a blast.
I learned how to speed shift from Gary Kruger when
Yeah.
he was around, but boy, you'll burn up your clutch quick with that.
Well, you don't use the
Yeah,
clutch.
just jam
Shove it in there,
yeah.
man. Jam it home.
Oh,
Jam it
Chris has
home.
got
There you
2
go.
right. Okay, so Let's see, which one should we go to next?
Yeah, Pandora, you should have gone with your first thought on that one. Linda Putt says, I tried to drive one, but I stripped the gears. Nice. Yeah, but your mom was happy about that. All right.
Okay, so let's do this one. What's the most stolen car?
Oh, okay. Now this is from a body shop guy. So,
I
Dad,
know.
how long have you been in the body shop
read
business?
the answers.
Yeah.
Read
Read
the
the
answers.
Number 1, Ford Mustang. Number 2 is the BMW. And number 3 is a Honda Civic. Which is the most stolen car? Ford Mustang, BMW, Honda Civic.
Well, I'm going Honda Civic, but I really think it's a Toyota.
Oh, wow. He's going to go for answer number 4. That's going to mess up Lydell completely. All right. So, Neil, how many years you been in the body shop business?
I graduated high school in 57, went to the body shop, so there you go, add it up.
There you go.
He was having a talk with somebody when we were out on the road. He travels with me when I go out and speak. And he was having a talk with somebody about the way he used to repair the cars when he first came in. He used lead.
Yeah, we led in cars. I had tools that the guys today didn't know what they were.
No, they actually filled the body before Bondo. I only knew a Bondo, or whatever that filler is. He says they used to use lead as the filler. I had no clue. That'd be a heavy car.
You gotta read the other Beth's comment.
The other Beth?
Michael Scott, you gotta send us some pictures of your drag racing. That's really, or some videos. That would be fun to show.
Oh, Beth says, I learned how to drive a stick on the steering column. When my boyfriend had his arm around me and I shifted.
Oh, we like them floor shifts.
Yeah, the floor shifts were a lot funner. Just saying.
Yeah, your arm wasn't around her then.
We all called them 3 on the tree. That was the three on the tree on the column.
Three on the tree.
My dad had a Ford pickup truck that we would drive, Steve and I, and the gears would get jammed every now and then. It gets jammed in neutral, so you'd have to. You got to get outside and get in the hood and pull that thing out. Oh, that was fun. So Gwen says number 1, hon, I think, on that one. Jenny Erickson says number 3. Lydell says number 2. And by the way, people, Lydell is rarely right. He was a Marine, or is a Marine, I should say. He's retired.
Yeah, you don't ever say
No,
was.
he was never a was. He's a Marine, and I think he was hitting the head a lot. I'm not sure.
Serious? So we don't say that.
Our new one,
Yes.
Sean rocked it last time and got the Upside Down Tooth Award. He's on number 2. Pandora says number 2. Lydell,
Can't even
3 on
remember
the
what
tree.
Okay.
Lydell's talking about. You got those, hon?
Yeah.
Donna says number 2. Paul Kilgore, number 3. And
What does the audience say? What do you say over there?
Jan said 3.
Stolen car?
Yeah, the most.
Honda Civic.
3, Honda Civic. They both say the Honda Civic. You
I'm
said.
going to go with Honda because Toyota isn't up there.
It's a Honda Civic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the most stolen car. Why would that be? Why did you think that was going to be the answer?
Because I'd seen it before.
Okay.
Years ago, and I thought they said a Toyota. I didn't think it said a Honda.
You have the question in here about the comparison between a Rolls Royce and a Toyota, do you?
No.
Okay, so I can share that story. So we did some Google work today and found out it takes 800 hours to make a Rolls Royce.
Wow.
Okay, in one day at the Toyota factory, they do 13,000 cars come off the line.
Wow.
Okay,
one
that's
day.
one of my questions.
And that's reading that.
You told me it wasn't!
And that's
just
reading the
realized
Honda
that,
Civic.
but that's
There's
okay.
more of them on the road than them BMWs and everything else.
Right, so they steal them.
Oh,
so
well,
they
that's
can sell
true.
them.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
that's
true.
a good. Okay, I'm with you
That's
on that
fair.
one.
All right.
But
Okay.
don't ever go anywhere with my wife in 2 cars. She'll race you home.
I
Really?
know.
Oh, she
Every
likes to
time.
race. Like, she likes to race.
And that's actually a sin because you're breaking the law.
We were going down 42 one day, and I was in the car with her, and I said, Charlotte, how fast you going? It seems like we're going pretty fast here. And I couldn't see the speedometer where the car made, and she said 70. I said, you better slow down, we're going to get a ticket. I could tell we're going faster. I said, Charlotte, we're going faster. And pretty soon, we're going faster. I said, is this the first time you're driving 100 mile an hour? And she said, yeah, this is it. I said, well, get to the 100 and slow down before we get
What was she driving?
a Conquest.
Oh, how
I don't know,
fun.
what's a Conquest?
My
I don't
mom
even know.
does.
That's
like to
some
drive
sort
fast.
of a Chrysler car. It's a little
Chrysler?
sports car they made.
Oh, really? A Chrysler Conquest? Nope, I don't know that one.
All right,
Paul
well, wait.
Kilgore, he's old. Do you know what a Chrysler Conquest is, Paul? I don't know.
I'm going to go to the best selling. So
Okay, here
what
we go.
vehicle is the best selling of all time?
Number 1 is Toyota Corolla. Number 2 is Honda Accord. And number 3 is the Ford F-Series. What's the best-selling vehicle of all time? What are you going to go with, Dad? He's going with 3. The expert is going with 3. Stump the chump. Remember, we're trying to stump him today. I'm going to go with the best-selling of all time.
You know the answer.
I don't remember it.
I just gave it to him this afternoon.
Easy. You're my roommate. I'm going to go with number 1. I'm thinking the Toyota. Mom, what's your answer?
I was reading, I don't know. What
She's fallen asleep and she's no longer watching the
Yeah.
broadcast.
The best selling
Jim and Charlotte drink together.
Yep, that's right. Paul Kilgore says number 3, honey.
Toyota
And
Corolla,
Paul Kilgore does not know what a Chrysler
Honda
Concord
Accord,
is.
or Ford F-Series.
I think 2 for me.
Mom says the Honda Accord's the best selling.
Honda Accord.
Jan says Honda Accord. You said,
I said Ford, but I was probably going to be Toyota.
yeah, I think because see, remember we're trying to stump you, and I know where you're going with that Ford F-Series.
All right, it's one. It's a
Yep.
Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
See, because
It's the number one selling car.
Ford always advertises
time.
they're the best selling truck
I
of
know.
all time. That's what.
That's why I put it in
See?
there.
It was.
I
I
know.
told you we're trying to stump the
I
chump
know.
people.
Trick question.
I know.
Paul
it's
Kilgore,
wrong.
did you get it? No, you didn't get it. You went with the Ford truck for the same reason, Paul. You fell for the trick, which is Jennifer said number
Oh,
1.
Michael
She
Scott got it.
Michael Scott. Did Sean get it? Yep,
Yeah.
Sean got it. The putts missed. No big deal. Donna got it. Lydell, buddy, go outside what you think it's going to be, Lydell. I'm trying to help you here.
All right, I'm going to ask this question.
All right.
All right, if I can get it to come up here. So, what is something your dad taught you about cars? Like, is there anything that you learned? Like,
Oh.
okay, so but you have to understand, my dad owned a body shop, so like there were certain things we were never to do. If you get in the left-hand lane to turn, never turn your wheel until you're going to turn. You have to keep the wheel straight because if you get hit from behind and your wheel's turned, you're going to go into the oncoming traffic. Number 1. Number 2. When you're in a parking lot, don't start cutting through. Go down the aisles. If you start cutting through, you'll hit somebody.
Pause for a moment. Guess what he did today?
Did he cut through a parking lot?
I was the only guy in the parking lot.
See, but you never hit the car you don't. You see, you hit the car you don't see.
Number 3,
Yeah.
don't cut through neighborhoods.
Yes.
Never cut through neighborhoods. You're
All
going
right.
to hurt yourself. Right,
There
exactly.
you go.
Go
What did
hit
I
it.
learn from my
I know.
dad?
Oh, wait a minute. There was one more. And never swerve for an animal. Never hit the animal.
Hit the animal.
To this day, if I see an animal run out, I have to literally, I hear my dad in my head go, just don't swerve. Don't put on the brake. You just hit the animal. Luckily, I've never hit an animal.
Well, it's good for the body shop business too.
Now, honey, we got to do the worst cars ever made once we finish this answer. We got to go to that.
Oh my
video.
gosh, Michael Scott dad was a body man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right.
So
honey?
you did it, you fix it, huh?
Mom, Sharon Maxwell just joined the program.
Oh,
so we
All
need
right.
to
Hi,
do-
Sharon.
We need to do the entire
got
program, not with
family.
our hands folded, honey, so it's a little more spiritual level
She's
here.
gonna kill you.
Michael Scott says that,
Linda.
all right, where are we at, baby?
Oh,
Never
Linda
ask
Butts
for
said-
help, Jennifer Hutt says her dad taught her. Never ask for help. Linda Putz says, not a thing. He never worked on his own car. Linda Putz's dad.
Like-
Michael Scott says, oh, you already read that one?
You have to, like, my dad taught us how to change a tire. I think he just, don't call me.
You want to tell him about your buddy in Indianapolis with his daughter when she called from the freeway with a bad tire?
Yeah, he was like, you need a man. You need a man. Don't call me. You have AAA. Don't call me. You need a man.
That's a great line. All right, honey, let's go to the video of the worst cars ever made and see if Dad can identify with these worst cars.
Where
Where's
am I
that
going
go?
to see them at?
Huh?
They're going to be up there, aren't they?
Yeah, you'll be able to see them. So I want you to go through this and see if you owned any of these. Now, this is a random list that a guy made. God didn't make this list. So there happened to be 3 cars on this list that we owned. Not her and I, but Debbie and I and
Okay.
Laverne.
Oh,
So-
yeah, Nash.
Yep, the
that's
Nash.
Studebaker. No, that wasn't.
Oh, honey, move our picture over because the names of the cars are down there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
fine.
Oh, Sharon owned one of
Yep.
those.
Yeah, there's your
I don't know
Prius.
what in the world that was.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
think
if
that's
I can't see it.
There's the Prius. I
Toyota.
know
Too
Toyota.
fast, too fast.
Yeah, sorry.
There's that
Gremlin.
gremlin.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is that thing?
That might be a Ford wrench. I don't know.
It's written under there, but I can't read it.
A Subaru Brat.
Subaru Brat. Okay, yep. Next
Yeah, that
one.
had a seat in it. That had a seat in the bed.
Chrysler PT Cruiser.
Yep, we
Yeah.
owned it, and that's the one we owned right there, the gray one.
Well, so did Sharon and Roy.
Now, what's this? The
Ford
Taurus.
Taurus.
Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was
owned
a
one of those.
terrible car. I would agree. What about this?
Oh,
That's
Joe
it.
Robinson said to me one time, every time I see a car broke down alongside the roads, a green Taurus. And I said, yep, I had one.
Now, what's the name of this one, honey? Citroen.
yeah.
Citroen. Okay, yep.
I don't know
See if
that
you
one.
owned any of these. Tell us if you did. We owned the Cruiser.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
see? See?
That's Jim's car.
That's my baby, but mine's yellow. Okay, this thing, I also owned
Oh
one
my
of these.
gosh. You owned
I
one
paid
of these?
50
Get a
bucks.
Dodge van.
I paid $50 for it. 1974 or 75, somewhere in there or something.
Wow.
$50.
Okay.
Piece of crap.
What is that?
Oh, the
Volkswagen.
thing.
Michael Scott had a Gremlin, honey.
Oh, I I do remember this car.
I
Yeah.
worked at Volkswagen when that car came out.
Okay, now that's an Oldsmobile. What's the model there? It says
Dynamic.
Dynamic. Okay.
Dynamic.
Sharon Maxwell just said hi to Neil. She woke up.
Oh my word.
John's watching.
Studebaker.
Studebaker convertible.
Oh, and Sharon had a
Studebaker,
PT Cruiser. She says.
yeah, that's what
she
Dad
had
just
one.
said.
Yep. And then
Oh, look at that little thing.
okay, David
That
Malm.
looks like a face.
Keep it paused. David Malmberg, a friend of mine, just pointed out the word Subaru backwards is you're a bus. Never knew that. Malmberg,
You're a
that's
bus.
pretty impressive.
This is a GEO Storm.
Oh, yeah, that was
about
bad.
that?
Now look at this thing. It's a Bricklin. I've seen one, but I don't know what it is. I've
Must
seen
be
them.
a European car. I don't like them
Yeah.
at all.
Maybe that's where I saw it. I don't remember. Okay, and then this.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
Saturn.
right.
A Saturn
Yeah.
was a good car.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
that was
one. That's the one that had that weird back door. The half
Oh.
opening back door.
So
I don't know.
Sydney's dad bought her car that she's driving for school, but tell her what you told her if we buy her a car.
Oh, we're buying her a Saturn that has cataracts. Just saying.
Yes, she doesn't drive that now.
Nope. Pandora just said, talk.
Okay, what did
Tom-
Dad? Yeah, read some of the stories.
The other best says, Dad brought me to Brookdale parking lot to learn how to drive. It was Sunday before stores were open on Sunday. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how I learned to drive.
Yeah, Pandora says, taught me that if you have to be careful, as some shops may be inscrutable and try to charge you more than they would a man.
It's
Sure
so
enough,
true.
it happened. My dad was so mad that he had, my dad was so mad as he had taken his cars to that, I can't see it, it won't let me click on it. That I had taken it to, bought
Shop
from that
for
dealer,
yours.
and she got her money back.
He went and had a come to Jesus meeting with him. I got my money back.
That's cool.
That's where dads come in handy.
Yeah.
I always would call my dad.
Gwen says her dad taught her always lock the doors and watch the front wheels of a car that you're passing because you may be in their blind spot and they could cut you off. That's a pretty good one. That's a good one. Chris Soderland says, Dad taught me that if you get pulled over, crack the window and put your hands on the wheel. Never had to use this. Right.
Did you read Michael Scott? He said, my dad intentionally took me to an empty parking lot in January to learn how to correct from a tailspin. That's important to know.
Especially if you're in a snow state.
Yeah.
We did the same thing.
That was fun. Go them snowy parking lots that were empty.
Right.
Bob Atwood says, what has Neil got against squirrels? You're offending one of your good buddies in Buffalo. You don't have a lot of Buffalo friends. You only got like 4.
I want to go back to Bob's house.
Yeah.
Bob.
Him and Beth fight over cooking, and it's a contest.
And everybody
Right up.
wins, though.
And oh boy, if you're eating there, you win.
Everybody wins. I think that's it for the comments.
All right.
Anybody else? Malmberg does it. Malmberg might be up for line of the day. Subaru backwards.
Yeah, that's
Dave
me.
Oh
Malmberg.
yeah. Okay, so here's a question. It's another. The average American will spend how much of their life stopped at red lights? I have a little. 2 days. 2 is 2 weeks, or 3 is 12 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So how much time do we spend at a red light? Although, like in Indiana, they were building all roundabouts. Like everywhere
Yeah.
you went, there's a
Yeah,
roundabout.
especially in the suburbs, not in the Indianapolis,
Yeah,
but in
so
the
there won't
suburbs,
be
they were
any-
definitely all.
I wonder if more
roundabouts.
cities are going to do that.
John
Do you guys
just
have many
joined us.
roundabouts here?
No.
No.
Nothing here.
They're starting. They're building them.
Yeah.
Malmberg is up for line of the day, so I just want to point out because Malmberg's never made it to the whole broadcast, so he doesn't know what he's going to win, but you have to be present to win.
And you don't wanna
Malmberg,
miss
you're up for
this.
line of the day. You don't want to miss this. This is the emotional support tooth. We don't ship it to you because we're too cheap. This budget on this broadcast is almost zero. And so you are allowed to possess this emotionally and do with it as you will until the date of the next broadcast, which in your case, if you win today, would be when, honey? When's the next broadcast? Monday.
Monday.
Monday at 7 again. So, Malmberg, you're up for line of the day. Currently, you're up against Sunny, my wife, and Linda for the car graveyard in our backyard. And then who else's line? Bob Atwood's line.
While we're waiting, I'm
Yep.
going to show
Wait a
this.
minute. Let's talk about Monday. You promised to go home.
We're going home,
going
buddy.
home.
We're
How are
probably
you
going
going
to
to
do
do
it
the show and go home too?
from the rest area, from a toilet in a rest area in an undisclosed location.
All right,
Oh, my.
I put this up
This
because
looks
it
like
kind of
something-
reminds me of my dad.
Yeah.
Who needs a spare tire
When you got duct
when
tape.
you have duct tape?
Right. If
Right?
you can't fix it with duct tape.
You just can't fix it.
Yeah, you
My
got
dad
duct
cut
tape.
his hand really bad one time. Okay, so what did he do? He taped it with duct tape. Then, like days later, he went to the doctor and said, "Can you sew this up?"
Well,
So he says, let me get my sewing machine.
Let's just cut that open again.
I
now that
was
it's trying to heal.
trimming the trees with Charlotte's dad, and he looked at it and he said, "Oh, that's all right. Tape it up." So I taped it up. But another time I cut my hand, I had a kid there trying to help me get my ring off so it wouldn't lose my ring cutting it off. And the kid, I just jump up and down, say, oh, that's bad deal, that's bad.
My mom and I get really sick. It's that homophobic or whatever. Anyhow, you can't really help it if you've got it. So
You
I like.
just didn't say homophobic, did you?
No, it's what is it called?
Hemophil-
Hemophobia. Oh, that's it.
Hemophilic?
Hemophilia, not phobia. So anyhow, my mom, when my dad would hurt himself, she'd actually have to go get the ammonia and keep it near her nose while she would go help my dad, so she wouldn't pass
we
out.
don't have ammonia at my house. We have some Jack Daniels, and she uses that when I come. Now, honey, Gwen has made a good one. She says, yes, there are roundabouts in Hamburg, New York, by Buffalo.
Yeah.
And they drive me crazy. It's like playing chicken with your life. In the winter,
Well,
they're really going to be fun in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You're doing donuts all the way
Yeah.
around that
Oh,
thing.
I still have that up.
I cut my hand in Waynesville at the shop one time, and I went up to the doctor, and she said, Neil, you need to go to the hospital. I said, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'll be there all day. Why don't you just sew it up? She said, Neil, I'm busy. I got customers or patients. She said, go in the room and lay down and wait on me. So I go in there, and I thought, well, I'll just turn the light off. So I turned the light off, and Charlotte, she finds out I'm up at the doctor's office. So they said, he's back in room 3 or whatever. And so she goes back there, and the light's off. She thought I was dead.
That was the first time he got a notice in the mail for additional life insurance.
That's awesome.
All right. So, honey, we got
Okay.
a... Yeah?
Time. Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Time at a red light. So the answer. You guys know what the answer is. This one's fairly.
I'm guessing it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, if a Jim, it'd be 2 days because he doesn't hardly stop at red lights.
He doesn't stop.
I talked Dad into going the wrong way today on the street.
I'm like, I go, you don't understand. I'm in the car. Like, I get a say in this.
It's usually her side, so it's okay. I got
Yeah.
some
So-
absorbed
I'm
shit.
going 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. You spend 2 weeks of your life at a red light. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
that's just crazy. That's
Yeah,
just
12
wrong.
weeks would be nuts, but that's Lydell up there in Minnesota because you get stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Andrea Green is watching.
Oh, no.
Andy, we need you to turn it off because we're going to talk about you tonight.
Well,
Let me
Andrea, I do
know.
talk about you because I always steal some of your material. My sister finds the funniest stuff. Her and her husband Dale, they find the funniest stuff to put on
Andrea
Facebook.
doesn't have a job and doesn't do anything and lives on a couch. So, of course, she's going to find good stuff.
Andrea worked for me.
That's
She
true.
was a good employee.
She works all the time.
She's not listening. She doesn't have the audio on. We can say anything we want. She
Oh.
won't know.
That's his best friend.
No.
When
Yep.
something at your head.
Uh oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I just heard the door.
Somebody just opened the door.
She lives next to her.
Hey, Andy, how are you?
That is
You
Andy.
don't know nothing.
Come around here, Andy, so they
No,
can
no, no,
see
no.
you.
We don't want to put her on screen because then I got to pay her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Can't do that.
Oh, if you're gonna pay me, I'm coming around. How much you paying me?
Nothing.
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 Just my love. All right, honey, we got
I
that
know.
other video you're going to go?
Oh.
Oh, we haven't done this. Okay.
I can,
What do you want to say?
We're not paying you.
It didn't do it. Do it again.
We're not paying you.
Neil might be the perfect voice to do
Yes.
this, honey.
Yeah.
What else you want to say,
Mine
Dad?
sounds too high.
What do you love about your wife?
She's a beautiful woman.
Oh my word. Okay. It's
All right,
time to
honey.
go to another question.
All right, next question.
Okay, what do you think women?
We need a video.
Okay, I'll do it after we.
Oh,
do the
after the question, okay.
Yeah. You would think we've been doing this for a while. He would know the protocol.
Honey, we're down to 8 minutes.
What car accessory was invented? Okay, by a woman. Was it the vanity mirror, windshield wipers, or the seatbelt?
Now, I want to help Lydell, my buddy. But
Like
I want to help Lydell, my buddy.
We'll take the toy away from Dad.
Lydell, I don't know the answer to this one, but I'm leaning towards number 1, vanity, because of the woman aspect
yeah.
of vanity.
Oh, I thought he turned them off. Sorry.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so there you go. Now we've got an amazing video that we put together.
Okay, so it would be, hang on. Wait a minute. Where is it? I got it here. We had too many things today. Cool cars. Here it is. Cool cars. It's coming up. There we go, baby.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
It's going. You're missing it.
Well, we
There's
got a
it.
problem at the house.
If I see anything I owned, I'll tell you. Those are all Chrysler cars.
Look at the hairdo.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about
I
that
don't
one.
know It's a
We
Chevelle.
saw a
There's a
Nova
yeah,
today.
there's
Oh,
Chevy.
isn't that a Nova?
That was a Chevelle.
Chevelle, yeah.
And then-
That might,
Camaro?
Camaro, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a Nova. That was a
Nova,
good
the early
car.
one. Yeah, the early Nova. That's Andy's Firebird, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought so.
Cuda?
Yeah.
Or Trans Am?
Firebird
Sorry.
on there?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. That's
Challenger?
a, yeah.
9, actually.
Yeah.
Mustang.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is for sure.
I don't know my cars.
Yeah, there's that's a fastback, like a 63 vet.
Okay.
High dollar car.
Those are fun.
Oh, 55 Chevy.
We should have gone slower and had him name them as it went through.
I'll probably-
I love the hairdos on these. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Look at
Yeah.
that bold Plymouth with that huge foil. There you go.
Come around here, Andrea. People want to see you.
Don't make her do
Don't
that.
make her-
She's
no,
don't scare her.
Because then,
Yeah.
then when
We'll
people,
just-
no, then when people request her, oh, that's her hand. Big deal. She's
Okay.
handy though. She is handy.
Andy's handy.
Andy's
Handy,
handy.
handy.
All
Andy
right.
is one of my favorite people on the planet.
So Andrea, the question is, if I can find it again, I'm totally lost today. What did women invent? Where did the
Oh,
question?
yeah.
For cars.
Oh, for cars.
Car heaters.
It's
She's
no,
gonna go
that's
with
not.
car
Windshield wipers.
Oh,
Turn
she,
signals.
seriously? She
GPS
just
and Wi-Fi.
she just
She's
Googled
ruining,
it.
She's
Okay.
ruining the
now
show.
reflective glass.
All right, so now you guys know the answer was number
Brake
2
pads.
is windshield wipers.
You know how
Purchasing decisions.
in somehow in your life, you know how there's a moment where you're defined by it. You know,
Yes.
where you're literally
Right.
defined by it. This is the defining moment for me.
Right.
Let her come on the show.
What would you have said, Dad?
This is
Did you
not
know the
good.
answer to that one?
I went with the mirror.
I went with the
Oh, you did go with the mirror.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
That's
Did
it.
you guys think it was
I
the mirror?
didn't think it was windshield.
Yeah.
You did or didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, you
too.
did? Oh, I
thought
wouldn't
the
have.
vanity mirror was too obvious.
Okay, then Linda, all you got to see was a hand. Andy asked, or Linda asked for the face. We gave her the hand. Okay.
Charlotte's car had it up there, and you had to go like
Showed
that.
my face.
Oh yeah, the vanity mirror.
Shelly Fixon is watching, honey.
All right, so let me see. I had one other question, but I can't find it. I was going to ask about.
Windshield wipers.
Oh, what is your dream
Actually,
car? We've
there's
just
nine.
said our cars. What's your dream car? Like if you could have any car,
Yes.
what would you like to have?
I would go for a 70s
My things
Cuda.
women
Like a
did.
73 or 73 or 74 Cuda. I think they're like $250,000 now, though.
I'd want my 39 red Ford back.
Oh, we had a picture of it.
Yeah.
It was in that thing.
Yeah.
Debbie says her dad would go round and round the roundabouts if he was alive. She had a great dad.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Aw.
Mom, we have an audience member. This is her name. This is not it. Lauren Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh, is she on? Oh,
You know anything
Yeah.
about those names?
That is a
With all the
cool
British
name.
history you watch?
I know.
You do? The Mountbatten that's
I
part
know.
of the Queen's husband's line. And then Windsor, of course, is Windsor.
Yeah,
So
I think his son
she's
William,
somehow related to those people, I
his
think.
son William was.
Wow,
close
we got
to
high class.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
that's right. Yep.
No messing around.
There you go.
That's a cool name.
I
Yeah,
know.
it
I
is.
said
It's
if
a cool
I
name.
ever my name, I would use it
I
all
was
the
pretty
time.
sure she made it up, and she may have. We have no documented proof that she's anything.
We don't
She
know.
could be under witness protection, and they assigned her that name.
Yes.
There's a 72 442. Boy, that's a good car, Andrew.
All right, so we're getting to the very end of
Yes,
the
we
show.
are.
But something happened today. So while we're visiting my family, we're working, and then we're also, I should say, I'm working.
Jim's
They-
playing.
They've been out
We're
having
watching.
they've been out
We're
having
watching.
fun.
Yeah.
So today they've been going to museums and things like that, things that are open that they can go to. But he couldn't go very far today because of the show tonight. But I want you guys to tell the story about what happened today.
Okay, Dahlia just joined. D.
Oh, hi
Joined.
Dee.
Wait.
And then Lydell was praying for a 55 Chevy. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's a
I
neat
know it's a
car.
little warm.
And this is, I'm being poked
Wait.
at with my own
We,
utensil.
we were hunting something to do today, and I said I've always wanted to go to the VA cemetery
in Dayton.
in Dayton. Yeah, and there's 56,000 men buried there, and so we're just driving around, and I pulled on this one street, and there was a couple leaning up against a car, and I stopped and said, "Are you broke down or what?" And they said, "Oh no," and they pointed over in the field at where the stones are, and there was a soldier standing over there, and I said, "Oh, is he?" And his dad said, "He's getting closure." And I said, "Oh, is that a buddy over there?" He said, "No, that's his grandpa." So we started to leave, and Jim had talked to him a minute about what he does, and he said, "Oh, go up and say hi to him."
Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah. Go say hi to him. So we go up in there and stand there a long time waiting on this guy to quit. He had sunglasses on. I think he had his eyes closed. And they had driven from Cleveland for this fellow to do this. So I asked him how many years he was in. He said 7. And Jim said, "Are you going?" Or I said, "Go make a career." And he said, "Oh no." So then Jim started talking to him, and I'll let you go from here.
So I just basically asked if he'd been downrange, and he had been.
Did you guys explain who it was? That was his grandfather, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was his grandfather at the grave. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
explain that.
Okay.
And he had served, obviously, he's in a veteran cemetery. He had served in Korea, but had been influential in this young man's life, and obviously very close. And also the grandmother was buried there as well in the same grave. So they had died at different times, obviously. But so I just told him more about who we work with and work with combat injured. And I said, you know, you have to remember these were good people. This was a man of honor and of value, and had values, core values. And I said, "Have you been downrange?" He said, "Yes, I went to Kuwait."
Yeah.
He said he was Kuwait, but anyhow, he says he had lost some buddies, and he was really struggling with a lot of that. And I said, "Do you have sand demons?" And he said, "Yes, I do. I struggle with that." And he was really struggling. And so I just encouraged him a little bit that God had a plan for his life. And I said, "You can move past this. We've seen other guys move past this, and that you were raised with great values from great people who were honorable people, and never forget that." And then I talked about, Neil loved this part, I talked this little thing that I learned about, you've been living in your rearview mirror because you're running from,
Right.
I said, "Why did you join the military?" And he says, "I was running from something."
Yeah.
And I said, "You can only keep so much energy when you're looking behind you. You
Yeah.
have to start looking forward.
And embrace the road ahead.
And embrace the road ahead," like we talk about when we
Yeah.
present stuff to the guys. And so I said, you have to embrace that. And there are some decisions coming your way that these people who have instilled in you some core values on how to make those decisions.
Yeah, I thought that they should share that because right now I think we all need to realize that we can be a light for somebody else. Like you don't know how you're going to affect somebody. They were just out, you know, tooling around, just having some fun, and they were able to impact this young man. They wanted their picture taken with him and everything like that.
So at the end of it, I said, "Can we pray for you?" And he goes, "Yes, sir. Would you please?"
Yeah.
So then Neil and I prayed with him.
And the cemetery is not close to us; it's across town, and
Yeah.
it's just a crazy thing to decide to go over there. So if you, the Lord let us.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're gonna wrap it up. We're
Yeah,
out of
but
time.
we gotta do the tooth.
Yep, we
Who
gotta
got
do the
the
tooth.
tooth?
So who the nominees, honey? You had one on your paper over there. Who was it?
What was
it
Bob? I wrote down Bob.
What
Yeah.
was Bob's line? Do you
Oh,
remember?
about the crown. The crown Victoria should have an anchor.
Okay, Crown Vic. All right, you guys, you got to vote on it. So get your fingers ready. We have Sunny number 1, where she talked about only in Dayton, because you have that. And Linda came in with my parents' backyard was a car graveyard because of all my accidents. Dave Malmberg came in, and I forgot to write the line down, where he said, "Oh, Subaru backwards,
Not backwards.
means."
That's the name of it.
Yeah, what was it?
You are a bus.
You're a bus.
You're a bus.
Subaru. So anyway, I never knew that one. I thought that was good. And then the 4th one is Bob about the Crown Victoria came with a boat anchor.
Okay, so it's
Number 1 is Sunny. Number 2 is Linda. And number 3 is Dave Malmberg. And number 4 is Bob about the Crown Vic. So give us some numbers, people.
actually they were weighing in about what car they wanted.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Linda Putt said, I will settle for a Rolls Royce with a chauffeur. See, I have a Jeep, and I would like just to have an assistant that has to take the top off
Yeah.
and yeah.
Lauren Mountbatten says she wants the Dodge Challenger brand new white with purple racing stripe. Yes, sir.
I'm the chauffeur.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
gonna
you'll
do
do
it,
it.
but you got to take the top off and put it back on.
Honey, Mike
I
Mack
can
just
do
joined
that.
us.
All right, you're in.
Lydell is
Florida?
Lydell is voting for
Exactly.
number 1 and 2. Honey, he's voting for you and Linda. Lydell. Chris Soderlin comes up with number 3. This is the first time in the
Wait, are
history.
you marking those?
Nope, it's the first time in the history of our program that Chris Soderlin did not vote for himself. Even when he's not even nominated, Chris usually votes for himself.
Okay, so same again.
Okay, here we go. So Lydell says 1 and 2.
Okay.
Chris and Linda say 3. Pandora says number 4. Beth says the other Beth says number 2. Michael Scott says number 3.
Okay.
Mountbatten, you didn't weigh in. And neither did Dale. Where's Dale?
Number
He's
3.
standing right
Standing
here.
over there.
You-
Yeah, I
a
know,
bus.
but I mean, where
Oh,
are
who
you here?
said-
You're supposed
wait,
to be
which one
voting
said
in.
you
What
were-
number are you going to pick? Of the 4?
7.
Jeez, Dale.
3.
Dale's had a rough day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll cut it in half. What's half of
Okay.
7? 3.5. So
3.5.
We'll let him do 3. Okay. All right, Donna says number 1, honey. Gwen says number 1 or 4. Both are good. Linda Putt says, I hear you, Sonny. Michael Scott said number 3. I think you already did that one. And then John, you haven't weighed in. John, what's yours? Vote on that. So
All right.
what are we doing?
I think it's Dave Malberg.
Dave Malmberg.
You
Dave
are a
Malmberg.
bus.
Dave Malmberg worked with Lydell, and also I worked with Dave. Dave Malmberg is one of the top session guitar players from my youth, and he was a little bit older than me. We worked
Cool.
with Perry, great guy.
That's
So
awesome.
David, if you're still online, we'd like to present you with the emotional support tooth of the day, for a line of the day.
For line of the day.
You are able to possess this
Winner, winner.
emotionally to do whatever you want. These are the expensive ones. The crowns, the upper
Sean
crowns.
got that one.
only
He wasn't
Sean.
that good.
No, he wasn't that good. So Malmberg, this is yours. Just reach towards the screen and gently, there you go. Thank you very much, David, for playing the game. Don't forget he has to return it on Monday somewhere on the road. We will be from a totally undisclosed location on Monday, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yep.
We can't tell you.
Yeah,
'cause
pray
we're
for
not
us
even
that
really
they
sure
leave
we're-
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really does love us.
We're trying to load up some of the furniture.
All right, let's
All
say
right.
a prayer and then we'll get
Let's
out
do
of
it. Should we
here.
have Dad pray? You want to pray?
No, you pray.
No, me pray? All
Yeah.
right. Never
Don't put
mind,
him on the
Dad.
spot like
I
that.
retract the invitation.
Well, you have to think fast around here.
All right, Jesus, we thank you for your grace, your peace. We thank you for the young man that Neil and I met today. We ask that you would be near him. We know he's struggling with some decisions he's going to need to make, and some difficulties are going on in his life. And we don't even know about them, but we know that you placed us in that graveyard at that moment, Lord. And so we ask that you would be peace to him, Lord. We thank you for our country, God, and we also thank you that you are in control, because without knowing you're in control, we are hopeless as a nation. So we ask, God, that you would give our leaders wisdom beyond their years, and Lord, that you would help us to understand what our point is in all of this. Like Neil and I figured out today, our point for today was to be with that young man for 5 minutes, and that was why we were there. So Jesus, bless our evening and keep us safe and keep us peaceful. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, guys.
Our,
we love all of
our
you.
second place to go was the Packard Museum, and it was closed.
It was
see, there
close,
you
so
go.
that we
You were
literally did
supposed to be
nothing
at
but
that
see that young
cemetery.
man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. All right. We love you guys. We'll miss you.
Absolutely.
Oh, it
All right.
definitely
Now
was.
everybody wave.
Yeah,
Everybody
definitely
wave, Neil.
was.